Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Govinda Radhe, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, just 1 second. All those who are writing exams, can I request you all to stop and we can continue after the class? Hare Krishna. And some of them asked for the link and I've submitted the link. I've sent you all the link through the Zoom. Can you see the link for uploading your paper? Are you able to hear me? Mataji, is my voice clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Clear
For me, yes.
Okay, no problem. So we'll start. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjala Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpadarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatadasatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivachadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Come on, all of you. Hare Krishna, everybody. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare, come on, everybody, join. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So is the second part 2 or rather second class about chapter 13. What is the heading of chapter 13? What is the heading of chapter 13?
Dhritarashtra quits home.
Dhritarashtra leaving.
Absolutely. So the
Giving up.
chapter 13, yeah, it's about Dhritarashtra is quitting home. So where we are, what is the link is after we are talking about Parikshit's birth, right? Sudha Goswami started asking various events, right? So it all went around because Krishna's topic they touched and immediately everybody swayed and now they are asking again, what happened? And all this topic leads to what happened to Parikshit. Finally, how was he crowned and what's going to happen? So still we are going to continue about Yudhishthira kingdom. What happens is, can someone tell me as to where is Vidura, where did he go and to why did he go?
He was on pilgrimage.
Correct. But why
Because
did he go?
just before the one. Because he was insulted by Duryodhana.
Very good, very nice. So he was, can I mute everybody? I request everybody to unmute themselves. So I will make.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Narsimha Das. I am outside my house. Kindly request you to record the proceedings so that
It is recorded,
can
Prabhu. It's recorded. It's going live. Right?
Okay, then it's all right. I will be thankful to.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, Reena Mataji, I'll just make you the host. Not able to find our regular host. Most of us are engaged in the temple activity. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So coming back, so Vidura actually returns from the pilgrimage, right? So when he returns from the pilgrimage, what is special? So yes, he was chastised, he went off, so he actually missed the Kurukshetra war and he's coming back to the kingdom. So why does Vidura come back?
He comes back to make sure his brother is also on the right path.
Haribol, very nice. That's the most important part. So the topic is Dhritarashtra quits home. And the feel of it is as if, okay, the Duryodhan scolded me, Dasarath kept quiet, so I'm angry, I'm leaving. Now I'm going to come back because Yudhishthira came back, right? Was that the mood of Vidura? Was Vidura's mood? Wow, my enemies are gone and now, my favorite is now.
His mood is only to protect Dhritarashtra only. Nothing more than not to enjoy anything here in the Asnapura.
Haribol, very nice, Prabhu. But why should he in the first place, why should he worry about his brother or anything? So what is the reason? He's anyway gone for pilgrimage, right? And you all are telling that he's back to take care of his brother. Why should he take care of his brother? He is given up his material attachment, right? Why is he coming back? Or is he still attached? Hare Krishna. What happened? Is he still attached? Is Vidura still attached to all of this? Money, fame, wealth? Is it influence?
He was never attached to anything. He was never attached.
So is he then attached to Dhritarashtra, his brother?
No. There are 2 points is that one is he was on pilgrimage. So he was passing through various places. He was on this, one of the points he came is Indraprastha, where the Hastinapur, where Yudhishthira was reading. That is one point. That's very close to the place through his journey. That is one of the reasons. And the second one is while he was there, he wanted to take care of business from his prarabdha karma. I think these are the 2 points.
Yeah. So basically he was off for a pilgrimage, but then he came back because he wanted to take Dhritarashtra back, not because he's attached to Dhritarashtra, but the grey souls always try to pull back the conditioned soul. That's the main point which they are trying to highlight here. So where did Vidura, or from whom did Vidura understand or gain knowledge from?
One saint.
The Maitreya man.
Maitreya, that saint. So
Yes.
the saint name is Maitreya Muni. So the main first 7 verses talks about Vidura returning from pilgrimage, and 8 to 13, we finished till 13, right? It's about the conversation between Yudhishthira and Vidura. So very quickly, we'll try and summarize. So the first thing is, from Maitreya Muni, he heard all of it and he is back, right? Now, the moment he comes, I request you all to mute. All the inhabitants are extremely happy to meet Vidura, right? And they feel so good. So they are so excited to him. So as soon as he enters, what do they do? As soon as Vidura enters, what do they actually do?
All they felt that they got consciousness.
And they're almost like now only they're getting life back. And after that, Hare Krishna, only Prabhu is talking. Why no Matajis are talking? Hare Krishna.
He was welcomed by all the people.
Yes.
And then after taking sufficient rest and food, he has Yudhishthira arranged a meeting with all the people, and he has started asking questions that he has helped them, Pandavas, just like a bird he kept these chicks in her wings. Just like that, he has protected Pandavas. He is telling like that.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so basically, he actually leaves for that and now he is back. But the moment he backs, we are very curious to ask questions, but there's a slight difference, for us, even before the person enters the door, we will start asking him, hey, what happened? But here he is very nicely taking care of him, which we already saw a few chapters before, right? How a guest is to be received. Clean place, good prasad, good rest. Likewise, they are offering, Yudhishthira is welcoming him, offering him accommodation and a very nice reception, giving him sufficient food, sufficient rest, and he is comfortably seated. Right? Now, Yudhishthira, after all this, now Yudhishthira, see, normally when you meet somebody, the right thought is to take positive thoughts, right? And Yudhishthira also is having a flashback of a lot of positive thoughts. What are the positive thoughts Yudhishthira is thinking of?
The way he was,
Making
the way they were
remember
saved.
always.
Yeah. The way they were saved.
How was he saved?
Yeah, the first was the Lakura, the house of wood, where he gave two instructions.
Yes.
To Yudhishthira. It was not a direct information, but indirect one, saying that the weapons can come in any form. Yeah. The second one is that the soul does not die, it's only the body perishes, which forced Yudhishthira to think that there is something is going to come. And thirdly, second time is that just before the house was set on fire, he reached them secretly and informed them to set the house on fire and leave on.
Very nice. Very nice. Very beautifully explained, Prabhu. So the soul will not die, but the body can burn. Obviously gives a very clear view that it's a fire. Right? And he also tells that weapon need not be an instrument. So indirectly, he is giving a couple of clues. Now, there was somebody also who was present there who did not understand, but Yudhishthira understood. Who was present there?
Kunti, Mata Kunti. She did not understand.
Very well read, very well observed, Prabhu. Yes, Kunti Maharani was there, but she did not really understand. But Yudhishthira understood all this clue and he picks up and follows it. Right? And therefore, it cautioned him. So he's thinking of how Vidura protected him, not just in one incident, but various incidents, and starts inquiring about his travel. Now the 10th verse talks about Bhavat Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Stantastena Gada Brita. Right? In this, Gada Brita refers to the Lord. This is a by-hearting poem. Sloka. So 1.13.10. We will have orals after inauguration of the temple, along with the 14th chapter exam. But this is something I would request you all to start learning. So then finally they're asking, what happened? Did you finally, did you have a chance to visit Dwaraka? How is Krishna? How is Yadava? So look at them, look at their curiosity, right? So wherever you go, whoever they meet, the first thought they are able to think is Krishna. Whomever. So even if Vidura is coming back, the first thought is, you went to Dwaraka of all the places in the world. And 12 and 13 is, there's something which Vidura hides. What is that? He tells everything, but he hides some information. What is it?
The disappearance of Krishna. Disappearance of Krishna is idea.
So, isn't that dishonest? He has to disclose everything. Is it okay to suppress facts? Because suppressing facts is also equal to lie, right? Is that okay?
He did not suppress any fact. He did not mention it.
Okay, so why did he not mention? Is it okay to hide?
Because, yes, because you don't, there are things which we don't want to be the carrier of bad news all the time.
Correct.
So,
And we
for
don't-
that reason.
Yes, so
Yeah.
anyway, calamities will come, right? And one
Yeah.
should aggravate, or do propaganda, right? So that is not required. So typically, what we
Good
saw,
news can be said, but not the other way around.
so today we will, so 1 to 7 we spoke about Vidura return. 8 to 13 we saw about the various conversation between Yudhishthira and Vidura. And today we will try and cover 14 to 17, where Vidura's purpose for staying. What is the purpose, right? And also 18 to 28 is Vidura chastising Dhritarashtra. So we may not have chance for that. But just a conclusion is 29 to 37 is Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and Vidura leaving. Right. And finally, there's a lot of content which talks about Narada Muni, totally, talks to Yudhishthira because he wants to bring Yudhishthira out of lamentation because he's so kind-hearted and he starts lamenting. So there's a huge conversation which goes on between Yudhishthira and Narada Muni, where Narada Muni tries to convince him. So let me share the screen, and I request each one of you all to raise your hand and start reading as usual. Whoever wants to read, just seeing where is Vaibhav. I see everything other than Vaibhav. Just one second. Yes. So we are moving to we finished the 13 verses, right? Did we finish the 13th verse? Let me just check.
Up to 8th only we have finished.
Oh, okay.
From
Okay.
9th onwards we have to
13,
start.
6, no problem. 6 we have completed till 6 verse, no problem. We'll start from the 7th verse. 6th, yeah, sorry. So
9th one.
7th verse. Pran Chaitanya Prabhu had mentioned to repeat this, so we'll do that. We'll just quickly cover. Prabhu says we've completed only 6. Last time I had to leave
He has completed up to 8th, Mataji.
8. Okay. So, so this is what we saw. So we will go quickly where we are talking about in the 7th verse. Vidura took rest. So this is what we covered. And what happens after that is that Yudhishthira, now he's asking that you always protected us and along with our mother from all calamities, right? Literally, he is giving analogy of the wing of the bird because the bird always protects the children by its wings. So like that, he is actually protected. So we have to do this. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
What?
yes.
Yes. Yes, Geeta Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kaya Vritya Varpitam Vas. Shall I?
Yeah, no, we'll all follow. Kaya
Vritya Varpitam
Vas.
Karadihi Kshiti Mandalam.
Hare Krishna, all of you follow. Charabdi Sthiti Mandalam.
Tithani Kshetra Mukhyani.
Tithani Kshetra Muktani.
Sevitanta Bhutale.
Bhutale.
Translation. While traveling on the surface of the earth, how did you maintain your livelihood? At which holy places and pilgrimage sites did you render service? Purport also, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, please. I'm totally dependent on reading here to explain.
Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Vidura went out from the palace to detach himself from household affairs, especially political intrigues, intrigues, as referred to herein before. He was practically insulted by Duryodhana's calling him as a son of a Shudrani. Although he was not out of place to talk loosely in the case of one's grandmother. Vidura's mother, although a Shudrani, was the grandmother of Duryodhana, and funny talks are sometimes allowed between grandmother and grandchildren. But because the remark was an actual fact, it was unpalatable talk to Vidura, and it was accepted as a direct insult. He therefore decided to quit his paternal house and prepare for the renounced order of life. This preparatory stage is called Vanaprastha Ashrama, or retired life for traveling and visiting the holy places on the surface of the earth. In the holy places of India, like Vrindavana, Haridwar, Jagannathapuri, and Prayaga, there are many great devotees, and there are still free kitchen houses for persons who desire to advance spiritually. Maharaja Yudhishthira was inquisitive to learn whether Vidura maintained himself by the mercy of the free kitchen houses.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the nice reading. So what he's telling is he was traveling, right, to many places. Now, Vidura, even though Duryodhan said it is okay to comment about grandmother, sometimes we also tell, no, grandmother, we tell, a old one, oh girlfriend, oh darling, all this we tell. So this is accepted because between a grandchild and a grandmom, there is always this kind of funny talks, right? It does not mark disrespect. But in Vidura's case, why was he offensive is, Duryodhan actually meant it in a very sarcastic manner, and it was a direct insult. On top of it, Sudrani actually is a fact, right? Vidura's mom happened to be a Sudra, and therefore, which is why Vidura is also called Sudra. Because do you remember who was Vidura's mother?
Servant maid of Vichitra Virya.
So she is the servant maid, right? So because she was the servant, so basically Ambika, so she was the servant of them. Therefore, the third child who was born, that is Vyasadev, actually had to have children, right? So first was Dhritarashtra, second was Pandu, and third was Vidura. So the first one, obviously the mother was very scared, so she closed the eye and he was blind. The second, she was very scared again, and she was very pale, and so was Pandu. Now, Vidura's mom was a maid servant, and she was very bold, and Vidura was born. So, who was Vidura in his? Who was actually Vidura?
Yamaraja.
Yes,
Yamaraj.
Yes, Yamaraj. Does anyone? Okay, so Vidura was literally on earth for about 100 years. So, what happened to Yamaraja when Vidura comes here?
Mandukyamani.
Aryama.
Aryama, exactly. So Aryama is the one who actually rules in place of Yamaraj for that particular period. So this is what is happening. So Vidura is on the earth trying to. So you should remember, he's a very, very exalted devotee, because okay. So Yamaraj is what? What is great about Yamaraj?
He is Mahajan.
Exactly. So I am Narada Shambhu, Kumaro Kapilo Manu, Prahalado Janako Bhimo, Bhishmo, Bali Vaya, Shakir Vayam. So these are the 12 Mahajans, of which Yamaraj is also a Mahajan. It's a very important thing. It is also said that if a person is a devotee, especially those who wear Kanti Mala, so obviously when I say Kanti Mala, it's not like the fashion Mala. All of us who are into Krishna conscience, at the time of death, in case there is no Vaishnava, if we don't have a chance for a Vaishnava association at the time of death, Yamaraj also comes and he takes the Jabamala and starts chanting, which means that he's a Vaishnava. So he personally comes and takes the role of a friendly Vaishnava. So people who are Krishna conscious are not scared of Yamaraj because Yamaraj himself is an exalted Vaishnava. This is a point which I want to tell. So even if Yamaraj comes, it is for helping us and we have no scope in hell. Anyone unhappy? Oh my God, I do not know how hell is. I want to have a look at it. Anyone missing the look of the hell in this class? Because I don't think anyone is qualified to go to hell. Is that okay? Hare Krishna.
I don't know. Let us wait and see when it comes.
We will not have chance to talk at the time. So we'll talk right now.
I mean, we will not be able to talk, but we will be able to experience.
Yes.
Because we don't have the senses. That's why we cannot express.
Yeah, we will
have to experience anyway.
Sure. But having
Right?
said, what I was trying to bring out is that once we get into Krishna consciousness, going to hell is a ruled out option. So all of us should focus on going to Goloka Vrindavan. So coming back to 113.10, this is the shloka I told is for memorizing. Hare Krishna. Yes, who would like to go ahead next? Yes, Aishwarya Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Aishwarya Mataji, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Bhavadvidha Bhagavatas
Bhavadvidha Bhagavatas.
Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho.
All of us, come on.
Sita
Swayam Vibho.
Tirthi Kuruvanti Tirthani
Tirthi Kuruvanti Tirthani
Swantastena Gadabhrata.
Swastasena Gadavrita.
Translation. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Purport. The personality of Godhead is omnipresent by his diverse potencies everywhere, just as the power of electricity is distributed everywhere within space. Similarly, the Lord's omnipresence is perceived and manifested by his unalloyed devotees like Vidura, just as electricity is manifested in an electric bulb. A pure devotee like Vidura always feels the presence of the Lord everywhere. He sees everything in the potency of the Lord and Lord in everything. The holy places all over the earth are meant for purifying the polluted consciousness of the human being by an atmosphere surcharged with the presence of the Lord's unalloyed devotees. If anyone visits a holy place, he must search out the pure devotees residing in such holy places. Take lessons from them. Try to apply such instructions in practical life and thus gradually prepare oneself for the ultimate salvation, going back to Godhead. To go to some holy place of pilgrimage does not mean only to take a bath in the Ganges or Yamuna or to visit the temples situated in those places. One should also find representatives of Vidura who have no desire in life save and in life save and except to serve the personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead is always with such pure devotees because of their unalloyed service, which is without any tinge of fruitive action or utopian speculation. They are in the actual service of the Lord, specifically by the process of hearing and chanting. The pure devotees hear from the authorities and chant, sing, and write of the glories of the Lord. Mahamuni Vyasadeva heard from Narada, and then he chanted in writing. Shukadeva Goswami studied from his father, and he described it to Parikshit. That is the way of Srimad Bhagavatam. So by their actions, the pure devotees of the Lord can render any place into a place of pilgrimage. And the holy places are worth with the name only on their account. Such pure devotees are able to rectify the polluted atmosphere of any place. And what to speak of a holy place rendered unholy by the questionable actions of interested persons who try to adopt a professional life at the cost of the reputation of a holy place. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very beautifully explained. So the devotees, okay, they are telling are like Lord itself, right? So whichever places you're talking about, the holy places are like, not only the places where you have Ganges or the places where Lord had come, stayed, and gone. It also becomes holy because the devotees are staying, right? Because wherever the devotees are going, they carry holy place. Now, one classic example is when Prabhupada was missing, Vrindavan, many devotees also asked him, right? Don't you? So he said, no, Vrindavan is right here. Why did he say that? He was actually meaning the association of devotees actually makes the place very holy. So Vidura, obviously, we just read that he is the, Amsa of Yam. He's basically Yamaraj. And therefore, all these places, so wherever he went, not only that he went to the holy places, but he being a very spiritually elevated person, his presence in these holy places makes the places holy itself. So it's like mutually complementing each other, right? So if you notice, there is also this verse which says that Ganges, right? Ganga Musham. So when you go and take bath in Ganges, you have to take bath many times to get purified. So Ganges is very pure. But if you are associating with devotees who are pure devotees, even one time if you associate, immediately the purity of the devotee comes into you. So that is the speciality of the pure devotee. So this is a take home where many times we go on pilgrimage trips, right? We will quickly run, go have a look at the place and come back. Right? Like a typical, since we are all more become like a robots in the material world, we quickly walk, run, go meet our agenda and come back. But that's not the purpose of the holy place. And just going and meeting or seeing the holy place also is not sufficient. We should make use of it. Go see the holy place. Get very nicely ready. In the sense, when I'm telling ready, it is not just getting ready in terms of dress or anything, but I'm just telling in terms of get prepared with whom are the people whom we will get to meet. So that is why if you see ISKCON, every time we go to any place, always there will be association with higher devotees. We will have a chance to at least meet a Madhyamadhikari or a Uttamadhikari in most of the places. So we have meets with sannyasis, we associate with them because these are chances which otherwise we won't get, right? So that's the best part of our pilgrimage. So, so this is what we are talking about. So let's go to 1.13.11. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to take? Lalita Mataji, Danish Mataji.
Yes, I'll take.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Apinah Suradastat. Oh, you're all repeating. Apinah Suhradastata.
Apina Suradastata.
Bandavaha Krishna Devataha.
Bandavaha Krishna Devataha.
Drishta Shrutava Yadavaha.
Drishta Srutava Yadavaha.
Priyam Sukamasate.
Swapuryam Sukamasate.
Oh, shall I continue?
Yeah, not syllabus, translation.
From translation, yeah. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My uncle, you must have visited Dwaraka. In that holy place are our friends and well-wishers, the descendants of Yadu, who are always wrapped in the services of Lord Shri Krishna. You might have seen them or heard about them. Are they all living happily in their abodes? Should I continue, purport?
Yes, please read.
Yeah, purport. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The particular word Krishna Devataha, that is, those who are always wrapped in the services of Lord Krishna, is significant. The Yadavas and the Pandavas, who were always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna and his different transcendental activities, were all pure devotees of the Lord, like Vidura. Vidura left home in order to devote himself completely to the service of the Lord. But the Pandavas and Yadavas were always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna. Thus, there is no difference in their pure devotional qualities. Either remaining at home or leaving home, the real qualification of a pure devotee is to become wrapped in the thought of Krishna favorably. That is, knowing well that Lord Krishna is the absolute personality of Godhead. Kamsa, Jarasandha, Svishupala, and other demons like them were also always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna, but they were absorbed in a different way, namely unfavorably, or thinking him to be a powerful man only. Therefore, Kamsa and Shishpala are not on the same level as pure devotees like Vidura, the Pandavas, and the Hare Krishna, Pandavas and Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Yadavas. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Maharaja Yudhishthira was also always wrapped in the thought of Lord Krishna and his associates at Dwarka Otherwise, he could have asked all about them from Vidura. Maharaja Yudhishthira was therefore on the same level of devotion as Vidura, although engaged in the state affairs of the kingdom of the world. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Very nice, very nicely written. Thank you so much, Netaji. So this sloka is also there, right? Anya Abhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmani Anavritam Anukuleni Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. What shloka is it and where is this from?
Hare Krishna Balaji, this is the definition of Bhakti and this is shloka is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Very nice. So from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, this particular shloka talks about the pure devotional service, right? So it talks about Anya Abhilashita Sunyam and they are trying to relate this to Vidura. So Anya Abhilashita, he has no other wish, right? Though he was born in the kingdom, so he was not qualified to be one of the prince because he was Sudra's son. However, Dhritarashtra also liked him and he also liked him. And Dhritarashtra, he did not have a share of kingdom, but he had given a lot of riches and he was given a lot of comfort. In spite of that, he had absolutely no material desire at all. Both Vidura and Vidurani, right? And we also saw when Krishna was in their house, Vidurani was so exalted, so amazed by the look and feel of Krishna, she completely forgot and she gave the peel of the banana instead of the banana. This shows the kind of commitment and love she had. Now, Anya Abhilashita Sunya, Jnana Karmani Anavrit, right? So he is not covered by Jnana or Karma because he never had any interest for doing fruitive activity or, any of the, spiritual speculation. In fact, I would rather say that literally it was Jnana Karmani, not only Anavritam, it was actually Sunyam, Vidra, because he left also. So he just gave up on everything and went. But it's Anukula. He was very favorable. What is the difference between thinking 24/7? Even Kamsa was thinking 24/7, right? So that is also Krishna conscious. Yes or no? Does it mean pure devotional service?
No, Mataji.
So what is the difference?
One is Kamsa is thinking of Krishna not favorably. But other devotees think of Krishna favorably. Whatever Krishna likes, they do.
Exactly.
So he's envious of Krishna.
Exactly. So Pratik. So I was listening to one of the lectures and they said about friendship and they said the best thing, the best friend, right? Friendship day is to be friends with Krishna and to have no expectation. Just to give a quick talk of that is, you see Sudama. I'm just talking about two friends, right? You have two friends like Krishna and Sudama. And similar case is Dushtadyumna and your, sorry, not Dushtadyumna, Dupata, and our Dronacharya. So what happened? Childhood, see, friends are supposed to be for lifetime, but not all friendship is for lifetime. It's for a period. Sometimes your status, feel, all of this matters. But look at the difference here. Dronacharya had some expectation for his kingdom. Whereas here, Sudama, though he came there he never had a mission, but he wanted to see Krishna. When they met, they went into flashback, nostalgia and all of that. But Krishna never wanted to tell him because he wanted to surprise him. When Sudama left, he never knew Krishna had a beautiful house, the entire place constructed for him. But look at his mindset, right? His mindset was very calm. He thought, oh, Krishna is so sweet. If he doesn't want me to have it, it is because it's for my good. That's the feeling he had with friendship. So that is called favorable, Anukula, right? Of course, the example which I told about them is different. But where I'm coming is any relationship should have faith, confidence, and it should be favorable. And even though unfavorably, all those who had Sayuj, they literally took the form of Krishna, that is Narayana, Sarupya Mukti. However, it is not favorable and hence we should have a very favorable thought. And imagine not only us, but imagine the others. All the time, they are thinking of him as a friend, literally living with him. So when he said friend, I changed. So how can we okay, now I'm going to ask you all, how can we become friends with Krishna? How can we want to be friends, right? Hare Krishna. Yes or no? Arjuna is the best friend. All of us like to be friends, right? Why are we silent? Are you either you can't hear me or you're so bored that I'm making you sleep. At least my voice can't make you sleep.
Hare Krishna Mataji, by spreading the message of Bhagavad Gita.
Exactly. So by spreading the message of Bhagavad Gita, we can make Krishna become our friend, right? That is one side. And how we will become Krishna's friend to start with? Understanding Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, Shravanam. Shravanam is the first step. Hear about him. If we want to woo someone, right? How will you woo someone? Woo in the sense you want to really get hold of someone, catch someone, impress someone, right? We will know about them. We will try and impress the person, right? So here we want to impress Krishna, but in a very genuine way, not in a fake way. So that is what Arjuna is telling, right? Oh my God, you're God. Okay, and he's asking for forgiveness, right? In Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? Tasmat pranamya pranidaya kayam prasadaye tvam ahamisha midyam Vitava Pritrasa Sakeva Sakyu Priya Priya Rasyeva Sodum. So everything, please forgive me, think that, so why is he thinking? As a father, forgive me, because he had taken him as a friend, which means that they could lie down on the same side, he could put his hand on his, all kinds of casual exchanges were there among friends, right? Because with a friend, there is no factor of relationship, respect, and all that which will come. It's an absolutely unconditional relationship. Still, we should take responsibility, not depend on a friend. Who's a friend? A friend is a friend whom will continue to take us closer to Krishna. But if that friend is taking us away from Krishna, can anyone give an example where a friendship took someone away from Krishna? We can call them as greatest examples of friends, but took them away from Krishna. Any friendship in here in Mahabharata itself, friendship, example of great friendship, but the friendship itself was deteriorating and took the
Karna.
Haribol, very nice Karna. Karna actually befriending Duryodhana took away from Krishna, right? So it should be any relationship or any friendship should take them closer to Krishna. Whereas if you take Draupadi, right? Draupadi was friends with Krishna. So now the first thing we will think is Draupadi is so humble, she's so sweet. But if you come across a situation, Draupadi, when she came to know Subhadra, right, was going to get married to Arjuna, rather after knowing that, she was not comfortable, right? It gave her a little bit of discomfort. It is not that the devotees never get into discomfort. It is not that devotees never face insecurity. They do face. But what is the difference? The way they handle is different. Now, she never said that I'm going to take a knife, I'm a Kshatriya, I'm going to kill her. No. It is just that she wanted her space. And how did Subhadra do? Subhadra never said, hey, forget it. You are just a friend. I am sister. And moreover, Arjuna loved me. All this drama she didn't do. No? She was very humble. In fact, she literally got herself dressed as a coward girl because she thought Draupadi knew her. Not her, but as Krishna's sister, she would love her more rather than as Arjuna's wife. She was humble and she gave her a lot of assurance that she would be in that profile of what befits her. And her intent is only with respect to not kingdom or anything. This doesn't mean that Draupadi is insecure and she wants kingdom. No, but it's just that even devotees do have things. It's not about being materialistic, but there are thoughts, but just that they don't do it in the wrong way. Everything is followed in the right path. But if you see, they both continue to be great friends. They had great equation. How? Because they had Krishna in the center. She liked him. She liked her because she saw her as Krishna's sister. So when you have Krishna in the center, all relationships become fair, which is what we should say also. Like that is why they say the family which prays together stays together. It's a very, very important point. So Yudhishthira always used to think of Krishna. And therefore, he was also thinking about associates of Dwaraka, how they will be associated, how they will know what happened and all that. These kind of questions are coming up. And also, Yudhishthira was also a very exalted devotee. He was on par with Vidura. So Yudhishthira, Uddhava, all of them are exalted devotees, always thinking of Krishna. And we don't have to talk much about Yudhishthira because we did enough of chapters on that. Yes, Devika Shetty Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shloka 12. Ittekto dharmarajena.
Iti ukto dharmarajena.
Sarvam tat samavarnayat.
सर्वं तत्समवर्णयत्
Varnayat
यथानुभूतं क्रमशो
यथानुभूतं क्रमशो
विनायदुकुलाक्षयम्
विनाय दुकुल
Kulakshayam.
Scroll down.
Darshan.
Thus, being questioned by Maharaja Yudhishthira, Mahatma Vidura gradually described everything he had personally experienced, except news of the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty.
So this is what I asked you initially. Is it okay to hide? And Prabhu already answered yes, because it is not hiding. It's always good to hold back some information which is not pleasant to others' ears, right? And you don't propaganda things which are negative and create agitation in the moods of people. So why is Vidura called Mahatma? Why is Vidura called Mahatma? So because he's always
Because he is a pure devotee of the Lord.
exactly. So that is what it says also, right? The Shloka Maha Manastu Mam Partha Divim Prakritam Ashritaha Bhajatam Ananya Manaso. That means he is taking shelter of Ashriya. So he is taking what? Favorable shelter of whom? Of Krishna. Maha Manastu Mam Partha, right? He is explaining, Krishna is telling such Mahatmas, what do they? Divim Prakritam Ashritaha. They take shelter of me, right? Bhajata, all the time they'll think of me. Right, so this is the greatness of the Mahatma. So Vidura is always thinking of Krishna, right? And such people, Krishna, it's very, very dear to Krishna. So that is what Krishna is talking about. So now we are moving to 13. Hare Krishna. Yeah, anybody who wants to go for this?
Shall I continue?
Yes.
Okay, Lalit. Okay. Shloka 13.
You continue. You continue.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Shloka 13. Nanma apriyam durvishaham.
Sorry, I'm checking. Nanva priyam durvishaham.
Drunam swayam upastitam. Navedhayat sakarno. Dukkitan drushtam akshamaha.
Devika Shetty Mataji, you know? Yeah, very nice, yeah. Chanting shloka, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, translation.
Compassionate Mahatma Vidura could not stand to see the Pandavas distressed at any time. Therefore, he did not disclose this unpalatable and unbearable incident, because calamities come to their own accord. Purport. We'll continue purport.
Continue.
According to Niti Shastra, that is civic laws, one should not speak an unpalatable truth to cause distress to others. Distress comes upon us in its own way by the laws of nature. So, one should not aggravate it by propaganda. For a compassionate soul like Vidura, especially in his dealings with the beloved Pandavas, it was almost impossible to disclose an unpalatable piece of news like the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. Therefore, he purposely refrained from it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, the nice thing, what we do, the first thing when we open our mouth is any bad news is there, we will tell that only fat. Yes or no? Hey, you know what happened? Phone also, hey, you know what happened? That person, this person died, that person is having cancer. All that is the first topic which will come. Yes or no? Honest. Why very silent today, the class? I think Pran Chaitanya Prabhu's class is more lively.
Yes, Mataji.
First thing we will tell, right? So these are all not just, Bhagavatam is basic, like how Niti Shastra is civic law, Bhagavatam is Bhagavata Dharma, which is Bhagavata law for us to understand how we should learn from all this. So the moment we take also, we should actually understand what is happening, how the news should be shared, what are the news which should be hid. Also, this is what differentiates a Smarta Brahmin from a regular person. And why am I addressing a Smarta Brahmin is, they will stick to rules. For example, if there is a lady, I am a sannyasi, I will not touch. But whereas if you see Vaishnava sannyasis, and this has happened and it's come in paper also in ISKCON, where there was a fire accident and our sannyasis had gotten and saved the women. right? They did not tell, oh my God, women, I'm a sannyasi, I've taken sannyasi virut, I will not touch women. Yes, they will not touch women, but there are exceptional cases where they may have to step out, right? They cannot be coming out and telling, excuse me, I'm a sannyasi, I cannot touch, can you go? Or they cannot come out and tell, let me call the fire engine. If the girl has to burn, it's her karma. No. Karma is between Krishna and the person. When we see someone, we will see with compassion, not with karma passion. That is something I'm sure now all of you will be clear, but this was a very big confusion in level 1 and level 2. If anyone gets hurt, should we think it's their karma? No, it's an account between Krishna and the person. It has got nothing to do with us. We will only focus compassion. The account of karma, Krishna will take care between them. We will not get into it because we are not representatives of karma. We are representatives of Krishna and we will only show compassion. Right? So Niti Shastra very clearly says anything which is unpalatable, you should not tell. Many times they will tell I'm honest, and that truth can be very, very uncomfortable. And I've personally seen, when one of my cousins went to my aunt and said, Auntie, you know, I got 80%, 90%, right? The one answer you should tell is congratulations. Yes or no? Right? My aunt said, oh, but my mate's daughter got 95%. Is it relevant? See, is it even relevant? So what I'm telling is mate's daughter gets 95% or 100% is a different story. You can always bring it up later. But these are things, what happens, somebody who's very, a child in maybe 14, 15 years, 10th grade is very excited, comes all the way and tells you, I have got this, just acknowledge it. It is not that the entire truth of the world is inside our head. And if it doesn't come to our mouth, our head will burst. Right? So there are truths which are to be disclosed. Same situation is if the truth had come out of Vidura at this point in time, literally the head of Pandavas would have bursted, right? Because the entire family would have sunk because they wouldn't have handled. So Vidura knew about it, but yet chose not to disclose. So he told everything and on purpose he refrained. It's not that he didn't want to tell or he was uncomfortable. He just decided he would not tell the truth. So let's go to the next. Yes. I think Lalita Mataji wanted to read that. Go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Kanchit kalam matavatsit.
Kanchit kalam matavatsit.
Tatkrito devavat sukham.
Tatkrito devavat sukham.
Bhratur jeshtasya sreshyas
Bhratur
jeshtasya shreyakrit.
Sarvesham sukham avahan.
Sarvesham sukham avahan.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus Mahatma Vidura, being treated just like a godly person by his kinsmen, remained there for a certain period just to rectify the mentality of his eldest brother and this way bring happiness to all the others. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saintly persons like Vidura must be treated as well as a denizen from heaven. In those days, denizens of heavenly planets used to visit homes like that of Maharaja Yudhishthira, and sometimes persons like Arjuna and others used to visit higher planets. Narada is a spaceman who can travel unrestrictedly, not only within the material universes, but also in the spiritual universes. Even Narada used to visit the place of Maharaja Yudhishthira, and what to speak of other celestial demigods. It is only the spiritual culture of the people concerned that makes interplanetary travel possible, even in the present body. Maharaja Yudhishthira therefore received Vidura in the manner of reception offered to the demigods. Mahatma Vidura had already adopted the renounced order of life, and therefore he did not return to his paternal palace to enjoy some material comforts. He accepted out of his own mercy what was offered to him by Maharaja Yudhishthira, but the purpose of living in the palace was to deliver his elder brother Dhritarashtra, who was too much materially attached. Dhritarashtra lost all his state and descendants in the fight with Maharaja Yudhishthira, and still due to his sense of helplessness, he did not feel ashamed to accept the charity and hospitality of Maharaja Yudhishthira. On the part of Maharaja Yudhishthira, it was quite in order to maintain his uncle in a befitting manner. But acceptance of such magnanimous hospitality by Dhritarashtra was not at all desirable. He accepted it because he thought that there was no alternative. Vidura particularly came to enlighten Dhritarashtra and to give him a lift to the higher status of spiritual cognition. It is the duty of enlightened souls to deliver the fallen souls, and Vidura came for that reason. But talks of spiritual enlightenment are so refreshing that by instructing Dhritarashtra, Vidura attracted the attention of all the members of the family, and all of them took pleasure in hearing him patiently. This is the way of spiritual realization. The message should be heard attentively, and if spoken by a realized soul, it will act on the dormant heart of the conditioned soul. And by continuously hearing, one can attain the perfect stage of self-realization. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much.
So very nice. So Maharaj Vidura, what happened? So this is what we were talking about. So what is happening is, if you see those days, right, people could do typical space travel. They could go from one planet to another. Unlike today, where they have space crafts and all that to go, and even then they don't land over there. We think they land. So these are the things which are happening. Why? Because they were so pure. Because of that purity, they were able to see even the subtler people. Like, for example, Yudhishthira was able to see Narada, right? And there is Prabhupada's lecture, where in one of the lecture, Prabhupada also witnessed him and he was telling, please give way, Narada is coming and sitting. So even now, when we are actually interacting and when we are talking about Krishna Kada, it is not only when we say Krishna is right here, we can't see him because we have material senses, so we can't see him. But also demigods are present here. So demigods also are here because they also love Krishna Kada, and wherever there's Krishna Kada, they are also present. Just that the purity of us is far lower and hence we are unable to see. Whereas Yudhishthira had the conversation, Arjuna, all of them actually not only saw them, but they also were there. Now going back to Vidura, as I said, I was asking you, right? So, and Prabhu already answered this. So Vidura went to the forest and he did not come back because, oh yeah, Yudhishthira has won and I'm going to take the position. I'm in a better profile. No. He's thinking very spiritually that he wanted to come back to take back Dhritarashtra. That was his motive. Because he was just thinking, look at Dhritarashtra is such a horrible situation. All his children are dead, right? And killed by the opponent, and in that opponent's place is where he is living. Now, is it wrong to stay in your younger brother's children's house? No, it is not wrong. But Dhritarashtra never felt them as children, right? The first shloka of Bhagavad Gita is that. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre guru kshetre samavedanti utsavaha mamaka pandava chaiva kurvaha sanjaya. What is happening? What is the difference? Right? Well, so he's specifically differentiating as his children as Guru and him as Pandava's children. So that is clearly trying to give a feeling. Pandu Putrana means that they are the children of Pandu. So from the beginning, he wanted to be a sole owner of the kingdom. Sole owner, he felt them as the righteous owners or the successors of the kingdom. So he never felt them as even children of your brother. So generally, if children, our brother's children come, how do we feel? Do we feel, do we give them equal, if not more importance when they come to our house? Yes or no? Our brothers or sisters' children. Why are we silent?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Please be alert. Otherwise, I'll sleep off. I'm feeling very sleepy. We came back home at 2 in the morning. 2:15 we slept and had to get up at 3:45. So hardly caught up with 1.5 hours sleep. So if you don't keep me lively, there is every possibility that I will be either dozing or snoring. Thank you for both of you. Now coming back to Vidura. So Vidura now is actually in that role, in that position. Why is he in that position? Is because he wants to come back and fix Dhritarashtra. But Dhritarashtra is in a very bad position because he never thought of them as his nephews. He always thought of trying to get them out of their life. But today, after his children are dead, as a father who literally is an orphan, on roads were taken very good care by Maharaj. And he is also enjoying the kingdom, right? That is a very shameless kind of a situation, right? So he says that he wants to, first of all, he wants Dhritarashtra, okay, you've done enough calamity, now high time you think of Krishna, right? Because he very clearly, he says, yes, yam yam vapi smaran bhagam tvajatante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya tata sadbhava bhavita. So basically, please, whatever you're thinking at the time of leaving, right? That form, that situation is what you will come. Therefore, antakale cha mam eva smaran mukte kalevaram. Where is antakalam? Right? He is not even thinking of anything. Dhritarashtra is thinking of kingdom at his last stage. His tooth is falling. All his explanation will come later. So I'll keep the suspense for you all. But having said that, but he's not going. So Vidura is very great. He's spiritually elevated. He comes there to increase or purify them so that they can have those kind of things. But these spiritual things are very, very refreshing. Not Okay, so he's actually the purpose of coming there and talking spiritual talks, who is for Dhritarashtra, but who are all listening? Who are all listening to it? Who are all there in us?
I think the entire family actually, Yudhishthira, Pandavas, and even the Kunti, Draupadi, everyone are listening, the entire family. Gandhari,
Yes.
Kaurava
Dhritarashtra.
wives.
Exactly.
Wives
Right.
of Kaurava
Yeah.
princess.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So very nicely, what is happening? The entire team is there. Okay, now one more question. Vidura is leaving. He is probably going to he's planning to take Dhritarashtra, but what about the rest of them? Now, if all of them are not going to leave, only Dhritarashtra is leaving, then if Vidura is gone, who's going to enlighten them? Who will enlighten Yudhishthira? Who will enlighten spirituality to the rest of them?
Kripacharya is there, and
Okay. Otherwise?
Daumya.
Daumya is there, Kripacharya is there, very nice. And also, nobody needs to give a smack like the way Dhritarashtra needed, right? Because Yudhishthira was already Krishna conscious. And that is why, if you see, though Vidura is actually trying to tell Dhritarashtra, the rest of the family members are enjoying, they are relishing spiritual realization. But actual person Dhritarashtra is partly oriented, partly disoriented. He doesn't feel that connect. But the rest, it is heard attentively by everybody, because we always said, right? We read in the last chapter also, third shloka, Shravanam and Kirtanam. So ardent listening was great quality of Parikshit. And that is most important. And the speaker is pure, which is Sukadev Goswami, and the hearer is pure, it goes to the next level. I remember Namnishta Prabhu saying this. In one conversation, he was telling me that the purer the speaker, the quality of intake for us becomes higher, right? So after I heard that, I always used to feel, oh my God, when I'm teaching, I always used to think my quality depends on my preparation. My quality of speaking will depend on how much I am able to grasp and deliver, right? And more to do with now only I understood, oh my God, it depends on, not now, but now I know, but earlier, so I was like broken. So I went and asked one senior Prabhu, I said, Prabhu, so, and then when we got to understand about Kanishta Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari and Madhyama Adhikari, and we come to know that in most cases, the preachers are technically Uttama Adhikaris and come down to the level of Madhyama Adhikaris, or by themselves they are Madhyama Adhikari. But ISKCON Mangalore, Namnishta Prabhu has been so kind that there are a lot of people like me, and especially me in particular, who is probably at rock bottom of Kanishta Adhikari is preaching. Now, so far I was thinking, okay, it's just about me. But then I thought, oh my God, all those listeners, look at me. Okay, I will preach and go. But then, okay, what I can do, Achar Prachar, the max I can do is I can follow. But just by following, I don't become pure, right? There should be a seasonal growth. All anarthas does not get resolved in a moment. So I was thinking, oh my God, then I was thinking that with little bhakti, how much will I be able to deliver? Not the quality. I'm not talking about the quantity. I was talking about quality. And that time Prabhu said something very beautifully. He said two things. One thing he told us, it doesn't matter. If it's little bit of purity you can deliver, give that purity to them. That is good enough. So if one has to grow high and then deliver, that will not go well. So Prabhupada also said that, what should I teach? What stage I should teach? He said, learn one line, one word, preach that line. Because Krishna never said in Bhagavad Gita, he said, Ye yada mam prapatyante tam tateva bhajamyam manavatmanu vartante manusham pata sarvashaya. Yes, it's a core principle where whatever you reciprocate, that level he will do. Agreed. But we are in the very beginning level, like most of us, so we get worried, right? But Krishna also has another thing. Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakpesha vidasyasi. So what is me? So finally, we are very dear to him. Bhakti Mahim Parakitva, may Vaishyasya Samshaya. Be rest assured, Samshaya, that you will come and reach me for those who are going to preach this one. And he is the dearest person to me. And Krishna is telling not only now, even in future. So he doesn't tell, okay, you preach at the level of Madhyama Adhikari or Uttama Adhikari, then only you will become dearer. He doesn't say that, right? In the 18th chapter, Krishna has been very kind. He says, whoever preaches is very dear to me. So why I am telling this is, whatever preaching is happening here with Vidura is, though directed to Dhritarashtra, his interest is for Dhritarashtra, but the focus is for everybody. He's trying to cover all of that, everybody to take to the next level, because it is glorifying everybody, because it's about Krishna, about Krishna, and everybody is feeling that enlightenment. Yeah. Any doubts so far? Otherwise, we can move to the next. No. Lalita Mataji, nobody is there in that link today, it seems. They've gone and they've come back.
Oh, I was about to remind you that.
No, I remember. I just messaged. Nobody was there. So 10:30 they had joined and they stayed for a few minutes and nobody was there. So they came back.
No, I think the Telugu devotees may join now. I don't know.
That was at 10:30, no?
No, 11 o'clock. No. Yesterday also they were at 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Because I remember they telling 10:30. Okay, I'll message them. So 11 o'clock.
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Okay. Wait, did we just 1 second? So are we moving into a new continuity? So is there any doubt so far? Krishnamini Mataji is also coming?
Yeah, I think she's joining.
Just 1 second, sorry. So I'm just going back to our discussion. So what were we doing? We were doing from 8 to 30. What was happening? The conversation was between Yudhishthira and Vidura, which is what we said. Now we are seeing Vidura's, what is his purpose of staying, right? So Vidura's purpose of staying, I think, is a huge thing. So his purpose of staying here is basically to try and clear out the stuff. Okay, we'll do this and we'll stop after this. Is that okay? We'll start this one. Who wants to go with this? I'm not screen sharing. I'm so sorry.
Not seen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think Prema Priya Jayashri Mataji is. Hare Krishna Mataji. Your voice is not.
May I take it?
Yes. Please take up on it.
Yeah. Am I not audible? May I take up?
No, it's clear, Mataji. You may take up.
May I take the shloka?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Abhibrat Aryamadandam. Yathavat Abhibandam. Yathavat Agakarishu. Yavat Dadhara Shudratvam. Shapad Varsha Shatam Yamaha. Is the translation? I read the translation.
You can read, but I can't hear.
You can't hear me.
Now you can. Yes.
We all could hear. Radhika Mataji.
As long as Vidura played the part of a Shudra being cursed by Manduka Muni, Arima officiated. 1 second, I can't see this particular word. Yeah. At the post of Yamaraja to punish those who committed sinful acts. Purport, Mataji?
Yes.
Can I continue? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Purport by Shri Bhakti Siddha Prabhupada. Vidura, born in the womb of a Shudra woman, was forbidden even to be a party of royal heritage, along with his brothers, Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Then how could he occupy the post of a preacher to instruct such learned kings and kshatriyas as Dhritarashtra and Maharaja Yudhishthira? The first answer is that even though it is accepted that he was a Shudra by birth, because he renounced the world for spiritual enlightenment by the authority of Rishi Maitreya and was thoroughly educated by him in transcendental knowledge, he was quite competent to occupy the post of an acharya or spiritual preceptor, according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyone who is conversant in the transcendental knowledge or the science of Godhead, be he a Brahmana or a Shudra, a householder or a sannyasi, is eligible to become a spiritual master. Even in the ordinary moral codes maintained by Chanakya Pandita, a great politician and moralist, there is no harm in taking lessons from a person who may be by birth less than a Shudra. This is one part of the answer. The other is that Vidura was not actually a Shudra. He was to play the part of a so-called Shudra for 100 years, being cursed by Manduka Muni. He was the incarnation of Yamaraja, one of the 12 Mahajanas, on the level with such exalted personalities as Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kapila, Bhishma, Prahlada, etc. Being a Mahajana, it is the duty of Yamaraja to preach the cult of devotion to the people of the world, as Narada, Brahma, and other Mahajans do. But Yamaraja is always busy in his Plutonic kingdom, punishing the doers of sinful acts. Yamaraja is reputed by the Lord to a particular planet, some hundreds of thousands of miles away from the planet of Earth, to take away the corrupt souls from death and convict them in accordance with their respective sinful activities. Thus, Yamaraja has very little time to take leave from his responsible office of punishing the wrongdoers. There are more wrongdoers than righteous men. Therefore, Yamaraja has to do more work than other demigods who are also authorized agents of the Supreme Lord. But he wanted to preach the glories of the Lord, and therefore, by the will of the Lord, he was cursed by Manduka Muni to come into the world in the incarnation of Vidura and work very hard as a great devotee. Such a devotee is neither a Shudra nor a Brahmana. He is transcendental to such divisions of mundane society, just as the personality of Godhead assumes his incarnation as a hawk. But he is neither a hog nor a Brahma. He is above all mundane creatures. The Lord and his different authorized devotees sometimes have to play the role of many lower creatures to claim the conditioned souls. But both the Lord and his pure devotees are always in the transcendental position. When Yamaraja thus incarnated himself as Vidura, his post was appreciated by Aryama, one of the many sons of Kashyapa and Aditi. The Adityas are sons of Aditi, and there are 12 Adityas. Aryama is one of the 12 Adityas, and therefore it was quite possible for him to take charge of the office of Yamaraja during his 100 years absence in the form of Vidura. The conclusion is that Vidura was never a Shudra, but was greater than the purest type of Brahmana. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So basically, we read the moment, right? Who's a Vipra and a Brahmana is an elevated Vipra who's focusing on spiritual growth. And we also saw that he will focus on Jnana Kanda, that is, Vipra focuses on Karma Kanda. And our, Brahmana who will focus on Jnana Kanda and Upasana Kanda. And culmination of all Upasana Kanda ultimately is Vishnu, right? Worship of Vishnu. And that actually means what? He's a Vaishnava. So bringing all that back, obviously Vidura is a Vaishnava, he's a Mahajan, there is no doubt. But for preaching, anybody who preaches about Vishnu is actually a Vaishnava, right? And anyone, so there's no qualification, there is no Sudra, there's nothing, the qualification is not by birth, which is why Prabhupada was stressing on something called Devi Varnashram. So it's not that I am born to a Brahmana, you're a Brahmin. No, that was not the case. If you see, a lot of people who are actually doing Mangalarti, they are having more, they are called Vaishnavas and they have higher qualities than a Brahmana, but they are not necessarily born in the Varnashram as a Brahmana, right? So why? So these are things which says that today in Kali Yuga, technically, Prabhupada also says, so many people say, how can it be? Because Prabhupada had very clearly explained, in case of emergency, it is allowed from the other ashrams to elevate. Now we are in Kali Yuga, which means it's a state of emergency and therefore elevation is required and therefore it is done. So this is a general concept. However, this law does not apply to Vidura because Vidura by himself was Yamaraj. Now this will bring us. If he was a 12 Mahajan, how did he make a mistake, and what kind of a mistake he made? And if he made a mistake also, why is Krishna not coming and saving him? And why is he cursed to this jail? Right? We talk about Dukale Mashashvatam, but why is he present? So Manduka Muni, the whole play of Manduka Muni, and the story is going to unwind ourselves shortly, is only because of the fact that they wanted to prove to the entire world that Narada is a great person. And sorry, not Narada, Vidura. And what is the purpose of Vidura or any Mahajan or anybody for that matter is preaching. But Yamadharma Raja never had a chance to preach. So because obviously there are more bad people. More bad people. In fact, Nectar of Devotion says that the number of the atheist is close to 99%, 99.9%. That's the number. So I was even wondering, my God, I was asking Prabhu, so many atheists are there. He said, yes. Okay, I said, no, but I don't see. He said, because you're in a devotee community. So that's a fact. We don't get to see atheists because our interaction is very small in this world, right? So we don't get to connect to them. But if you actually see atheists, Pashan, these categories of atheists, so much we've learned now. So it is extremely important that we understand that the Yamaraj entire game of coming as Vidura is also a pastime of a Lord because Krishna wanted to satisfy every wish. So Yamaraj feels that number of impious people are so much, and he's busy giving only all hits and punishment, so he doesn't have a chance to preach. So he gives him a chance to preach. So Vidura technically is not even a Sudra. Though he was Sudra's son, he's a great Mahajan and he's given an opportunity to preach, and this is exactly the purpose of preaching. So this is about it. So with this, we will pause and we will continue the story as to what made him come to the earth next week. And then, Pran Chaitanya Prabhu will continue from here. Regarding next week class, we will communicate in Zoom. So that's about it. Is there any doubt? Hare Krishna, any doubts? Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva Patitanan pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vijay Srila Prabhupada Vijay Namacharya Haridas Thakur Vijay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you so much. Shall I end the meeting?
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Happy darshan.
Thank you, Mataji.
Happy darshan. Thank you so much. Just a couple of things which you all wanted to know. Stay, transport, everything is taken care, so you all don't have to worry. Do not communicate individually to any department. Communicate only to your language department. So they will take care, consolidated in terms of how many of you all need, how many of you all don't need. Both communication, we request you all, because many of them had message in Bhakti Vaibhav group telling that they don't need stay and they've taken care of stay. But unfortunately, when we are looking for data from the team, we have not got a single data on how many do not want. So please do not drop a message here. Communicate to your respective language team, lead heads, and they will communicate to the transport team of Tamil, right? So we'll coordinate the, not transport, sorry, accommodation team, and we'll take care of that. But kindly communicate, otherwise we are currently short by 29 people. So we'll unnecessarily be wasting money in booking them. Most of you all, if you have booked, if you let us know, we will not do that. Wish you all the best. Let's all really enjoy, party, and welcome all the guests, all the devotees, and let's have a great celebration. Looking forward in meeting you all in person. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Same to you too.
Koti Vaishnav Jai, Srila Prabhupada Jai.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everybody, and see you.